The latest updates, quizzes, and loads of RSGP. This is the hottest chat show on RuneScape. RuneTalk. Have your say.
Okay, hey guys, DJ Quacky's here, and I'm joined with my co-host, Power5.
Hi.
We are going to be talking through a number of things, but first off, I'd like to introduce Iri, or Iri, a new DJ to the media team who will be on now with us.
Hey guys!
And also we've got GE Cleaner, aka Ben, with us. Hello, Ben, or GE Cleaner. Which do you want to be called? Ben? GE?
I really don't care or mind either way. Whatever's comfortable. I enjoy cleaning.
So depending on what else it's going to do, but yeah.
Hey guys, G Cleaner, yeah.
Right, so shall we go straight into our new update now? There is no new update this week, is there, John?
Nope. The World Wakes, which was supposed to be this week's update, has been postponed because they weren't ready, or it's such a big update, they're not happy with it yet, so they're not updating it until this week, which I'm sure everyone is pretty much excited for. But we've already discussed that last week, so we're not going to discuss it this week. Although I think it might slip in a few times. If you did miss last week RuneTalk, it is up on YouTube, so go check that out. YouTube.com/RuneZone videos, and it's up there along with a load of great other videos. So this week we're going to discuss old school servers. So anyone want to take the start off with old school servers? That was a hint to one of you guys.
Yeah, I'll go then, seeing as I play it all the time. So old school servers, well, I don't know about your guys' opinion, but personally I enjoy them. I just sort of see the evolution of combat as being sort of a backward step in terms of, I don't know, just it's not quite as enjoyable for me. But I've just been playing the old school servers, the 07 servers, ever since they came out, and just, I don't know, it's fun.
Well, what do you enjoy specifically about it? I mean, is it
I just like the noob experience, I guess. Just
the nostalgic old graphics, or the noobiness that everyone's now in, or the fact that everyone's starting again the same, or
yeah, the fact that everyone's sort of starting on a level playing field on just the same par, and just those sort of reliving the old memories of, you know, going around and like mining copper and stuff at like Lumbridge Mine and chopping trees around Lumbee, and sort of progressing your way up, but instead of starting where everyone's already ahead of you, you're sort of starting all together, you know, reliving the same experience to some extent.
It shows who has jobs and who doesn't. Or who's really good at the game and can get in there and knows exactly what to do and exactly what they're doing. I quite like it though, because also you haven't got the GE, so you haven't got anybody to clean it, and you also rely on your friends and making friends. Sort of like, it's a lot better of a social community because you do things together more. It's quite.
What about you, Iri? What do you think?
Definitely have to agree.
I personally think that, like, basically, like, everything's an achievement in 2007 Scape. Like, you'll be fighting monsters or something like that, and then you'll get like a steel plate body drop. In the current RuneScape, that wouldn't really be anything, but in 2007 Scape, that's actually like a really good achievement. You don't rely on the GE. You don't really rely on anything in particular except yourself. So I really like that aspect of 2007 Scape because, well, yeah, if everything's an achievement, then you have a reason to keep playing and keep working hard on your account.
However, if I said you could still do that in these main games today, it's not any different. You can still do your own thing. You can not use the GE. You can go through skill, gain all your resources on your own.
Oh yeah, of course. In the current game, you can still do that. In the current game, you have a choice, but in the 2007 Scape, you don't have a choice. You basically got to, like, work for what you've got, and also you get to. Everybody's like the same, so
Yeah,
you don't
just on that.
really have
Sorry.
that much of. Yeah.
Just on that point there, like with the current servers, I feel that, where you've got choices between, if you want to use the G, but if someone's going to use the G, then they're always going to have that advantage over you who'd rather play the sort of traditional RuneScape game. Same as, to me, I know this might be a bit off topic, but the microtransactions and Squeal of Fortune, if someone's got the money and want to essentially buy experience and GP, then they can go ahead and do that. And it sort of, for me, takes away from the game. Whereas in 07, you don't have those options and everyone sort of has to, they can still go and do their own thing, but they have to sort of play the game, for lack of a better word, more legit.
Yeah.
That said, you play on your own. So as much as you play as a team, as long as you play, as you put it, legit, then is there really taking away from that achievement? You're doing it yourself. You're doing it on your own. I see a point, but the fact that possibly everyone isn't on the same or playing the same way as you doesn't necessarily mean that your achievements are any less.
Well,
It depends.
I suppose.
It depends on your own personal opinion.
True.
Butting in here, I mean, I think the difference between 07 and EIC is really, what do you want from the game? Like, do you want the graphical updates? Do you want the sort of like, because you've got EOC, you've got the combat, and it's different. Whereas, do you want to just be hitting it and getting luck? It's really, it'll appeal to different people for different reasons. And I think Jagex are just making it so almost everybody's getting what they want, and Jagex are listening to the people, and I think it's wonderful personally that they care. This update's personally to me shown that they care about their players and not just the money like most people think they do.
Well, that's it. It's meant to be a game, so don't play it if you're not having fun. So I suppose just whichever version of the game you prefer and which one's more fun for you personally is the one that the individual will be likely to stick with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I think possibly move on from this conversation now, because we've got quite a few talk show topics, so I'll be all cool to.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go on to the instead of the new update section this week, we've got what would you like to see as an update even. So skilling, minigame, PVM, PvPing, RuneScape itself, graphics.
Is there anything that really needs updating, I suppose? Like, what could you think that...
Is this for the main game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game.
Okay.
Or both. Have you got something on 07 that you think needs updating?
Oh, not in particular. I mean, a lot of people are asking for, say, God Boss dungeons just because it adds... Cause currently, there's not really many bosses in the game, and that would add another element, but, a lot of people are sort of debating about that. So.
Isn't the mole there?
The mole is not a boss.
Is the mole in 07?
I believe so. I believe that was released
then.
quite a while ago.
Iri, do you have a... Or...
I don't, like... From the top of my head, I don't think that anything in the current game really needs updating. I mean, like...
I am titanium. I'm sorry.
Oh god!
You're playing titanium, and everyone in the chat box started doing it, and I had to join in. I mean,
does this happen often? Just random titanium outbreaks?
But the titanium split, so I had to butt in. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Back to Iri.
Well, I don't really think that anything in the game needs updating. I mean, with how the game currently is, I'm quite happy with it, and I don't really think at the current moment that anything really needs updating. So that's my opinion on it.
So I think then moving on to topics that you guys want to talk about, the listeners. RZ Cookies asked, will there be an Easter event like Heatwave? So, G Cleaner, as a user of the site, do you think the site would benefit? Do you think you'd enjoy an Easter event?
RuneScape or RuneZone or
like a RuneZone event, like held in RuneScape, because I'm not sure if you were here for Heatwave and Summerbeat, but we seem
I wasn't.
Party of the year. I'm not sure if you...
I joined since then, and I joined literally about 3 weeks ago, I think. But yeah, I've been to a couple of the events that RuneZone have hosted, and I've enjoyed them quite thoroughly. Apart from, I think the first one, I had a bit of trouble like finding out where everyone was. But yeah, I think the more sort of in-game events that you guys host, the better. I mean, it just adds, people don't necessarily have to go, but it just adds that option if people like
Yeah.
doing events.
I mean, us as staff, John, Irie, and myself speaking for, I really enjoy hosting the events and stuff.
Yeah,
like seeing
we should have pirate events. I'm with Vanilla 990 here. Pirate events. Bexy's even better. Content pirate events. I'm down with content
That
pirate
was-
events.
After content takeover, I'm not too sure on that one. I don't trust content near the radio. Why are you here, John? Content people to steer away from takeover.
But we need content pirate events. Yeah, we can
That
have
was
more
the
than one
first
pirate
event I went to,
Dan.
actually.
Dan's saying we had a pirate event, and I'm saying we can have more than one pirate event.
We can indeed. But yeah, as for the Easter event, guys, I'm sure we're going to be we have weekly events. We have weekly events held by the different staff teams, and I'm sure even if there isn't an Easter event, there will be loads of big events that Nathan and the SL team will be organising. So look forward to them. If we move on to Heinigan, who says, actually no, let's move on to Freaky Cat, who says favourite skills in order from third to first and why. That's a bit of a tough skill. Should we just go for favourite skill and why?
My favourite skill's farming.
It's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Not many.
Well, at first I actually hated farming in RuneScape because I found it quite difficult and I didn't really know how to do it properly. But once I started reading up on it and getting into the swing of farm runs and stuff, I don't know why, but I found farming to be quite fun. And I just liked going on farm runs and planting different things, seeing how they grow and stuff like that. And after that, I decided to go for 99 farming. So I kept doing that for months and months. Quite enjoyed it quite a bit, and I also thought the cape looked really pretty. So I went for it.
Did you use the guide on the site? Did you use the farming skill guide? I think that one's quite awesome.
Yeah, I did use that one, but I didn't base it off. I didn't base my farm runs and stuff off the guide. I just used it as like a sort of like brief guide for me to learn how to farm, and then I got into the swing of my own things. Like I did my own methods, I did my own unique kind of farm run, and then I incorporated like the Jack of Trades aura into my farm run, so I do like both of them at the same time. And when I finally got 99 farming, which was one day before my birthday in September, I was really happy with it.
The cape's pretty cute.
I like the cape, and I like the farming emote as well.
Yeah.
I've put a link for the farming guide in the chat box if anyone wants to have a look at it. But yeah, it is quite helpful. So if anyone wants to,
Yeah, it is.
I think Hennigan wants his talk show topic talked about. So what was it, Kathy?
He was asking about other games, sort of like, so what other games do we like? I mean, there's Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades is great. I love it.
Ace of Spades is good. And then there's the Transformer thing.
Transformers Universe. I'm looking forward to that when that comes out.
Yeah.
Um,
So, sort of like, I guess, sort of, what has anyone got any sort of like certain favourite games that they like playing?
RuneScape.
Simon's apparently got 51 hours of Ace of Spades.
How do you do that?
I'm just thinking, how does a sheep have that much time to play Ace of Spades? I mean,
with all that eating grass and barring and
he's a nerd. No, Freya, you cannot play Temple Run 2 on my phone, okay? But yeah.
Okay. Right. Heyo Girl says, what do you think of RS07 gambling? Your opinions? I've got quite a strong one, so I'm gonna nudging here.
Erie?
Um,
No. Let's go to the guests first, Kathy.
okay.
Erie, what do you think?
Completely against it.
Mm.
Because I don't like gambling in the current game anyway, and the 2007 scape, it felt like, for me personally, I wanted to like get away from like the gambling, the gold farming, the botting and stuff like that from the main game, and to see it in 2007 as well, it feels like I don't like it. I don't like gambling. I think it's an unfair advantage, and it's also a bad addiction to get into, in my personal opinion.
What about you, Tom? Tom? No, is it
Ben.
Ben. Sorry, I'm
You're right.
looking at other things and then trying to.
Jeez.
Sorry, I'm bad.
I
Yeah.
know you are.
Thanks.
I have to agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. No, but I personally am very strongly against gambling. I just don't feel like it has a place in the game. Like, I know Mod Marcus said, people enjoy sort of that high risk feel, that that sort of. But I just think that that sort of belongs in PvP and PVM and sort of things like that. For me, gambling has no place in like whether it's Jagex regulated even and such. If they decide to make like a gambling den or something silly like that, I just don't feel like it has a place in the game. It's just not a really legitimate way of making money, I suppose, and it's got a lot of ties with real world trading and stuff like that.
They are bringing out
opens up
updates to combat the current sort of gambling in the game. So I mean, flower games and things like that. I know they're upcoming to remove them, or at least combat them in some way. And I'm quite interested to see what they do with that and how they do it. Because I don't agree with it in being in the game. I think it's the wrong thing to encourage.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, my home world that I'm on in the main game is actually an anti-gambling world. There's sort of like little player-designated worlds that the community is determined to be anti-gambling, and if a host tries to host around the Grand Exchange, everyone will just tell them to sort of, piss off.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Cool.
We have had. I have heard about worlds about that where gambling is extremely frowned on, and people do literally force the gamblers out because they don't want it on that world.
Mm.
And I think that's great. I think that's great to see in terms of the community.
Yeah. I think I remember logging. I teleported to Lumbridge, and it was like the first or second day, and I was in a call with a few of the DJs, and I was just like, they're gambling. Number one, how do people get flowers that early on? And number two, this was meant to be a fresh start.
I'm pretty sure they're a reward from Waterfall Quest.
Yeah, I did
they
Waterfall Quest on the first day, and I got like 40 mithril seeds from it. So
yeah,
there is a quest guide for that if anyone still hasn't done it, and it's really a good idea to do Waterfall Quest.
especially on 07.
yeah, it is.
Early
You
on
get like
07.
30 attack and 30 strength straight away, and it's like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. I know we updated the guide on the site to make sure that the Waterfall Quest was, as up to date and still was sort of compatible with 07, even if the graphics were slightly different. It's still pretty much the same quest, just slightly different graphics, I think.
Yeah. Right, Burke has said, he's quite a good one, I quite like this one. How did you get into RuneZone? What made you stay?
Ooh.
So, Ben, you're quite new to the site. What?
Basically, I think Dorian Gray, I always get it mixed up. He
Changed his name
sort
to
of
Grey now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He sort of was talking to me about it in the game, and I was sort of like, I think I might have had a quick look at it and just sort of dismissed it at first, and then another time I saw, I think Lily B. Allen was talking to somebody else about it, and I didn't know her at the time either, and I just sort of prompted me to go have another look at it, and sort of just joined up from there because I really enjoyed the radio feature, especially just because I love music so much. So I just the music, the radio, and sort of the good community and the in-game events and things like that sort of great features and encouraged me to sort of stay with it.
Ivy, you as a new DJ, I mean, you've must have been with us for a decent amount of time. How did you find it?
How did I find RuneZone?
Yeah.
Well, I've always known about RuneZone as like a fan site, so like occasionally I would come onto the RuneZone website and just like check out the guides and stuff like that whenever I needed help, but I didn't really think to join. But then when you know DJ Unique, Alex,
Yeah.
I know him from my clan on RuneScape, and
Yeah.
when he became a DJ, he posted a link to Rune Radio in the chat box, and actually you were DJing when I was listening to Rune Radio, and I sent in a request, and I saw how active the chat box was, and I thought that the DJing was going really well, and it seemed like a really interesting community, so I decided to register. And then when I started checking out the forums and that, I thought it was a really active, welcoming, nice community with a lot of things to do, so I decided to stay.
Well, I'm glad you did, and now we get to hear your awesome music and DJing. And hopefully, you'll be able to DJ as someone comes to the site and decides, you know what, I want to stay.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah. We've got I've got 2 quick shout-outs from Nathan. One saying he personally loves 2007 Scape, reignited my excitement for RuneScape again, and he's also saying loads of events are due to hit RuneZone soon, so watch this space. So do keep your eyes out for all the possible events. And we've got so many talk show topics, actually. I think take a quick break from the talk show topics, and should we go on to...
Should we go back to the topics we had for the show? We've got the section which we call MISC section, which is where we ask our guests. So Iri and GE Cleaner or Ben both came up with a set of topics for us. So Iri, do you want to tell us what your topic was? It's in the Skype chat if you...
Mine is social skilling.
So social skilling, why is it enjoyable? Could it be made better? Do you think Jagex support this enough? Do you think there should be more support for it? So who wants to kick this off? Iri, do you want to start it off as it's your subject?
All right. For social skilling, I personally love social skilling because in RuneScape, I'm a skiller, like a pure skiller, so I only train skills. And 2 of my favourite things to do in RuneScape is to talk to people and skill. So if you can combine the 2 together, then I find that quite enjoyable personally, because you get to do 2 things at once without one of them getting neglected. So, and also if you're able to skill with someone in the game, then that's quite fun as well, because it can also give you a motivation to continue with the skill. And yeah, so I personally really like it. I think it's my favourite aspect of the game.
I used RuneZone like when I first started as almost a social. Like I used it to talk to people, and I've got so many good friends out of it and out of RuneZone. It's unbelievable. I mean, I have better friends online than I do in real life.
That's the same with me, actually.
Because in real life you've got such a confined, like you only talk to your peer mates. I'm in school. I only talk to people in my school, and I think I've only got one decent person around me. But here, you can talk to anybody and anyone and find people who you get a good connection with, and you get to play the game and you get to talk to people at the same time as like AFK skilling almost. I mean, rune crafting is now AFKable or social. It's a social skill now, as I believe Mark called it when I think it was Nathan or Illustrial interviewed him in the May. Illustrial. Because there were 2. No, it wasn't. It was that thing in May.
Oh right, I don't know then. All I know is Illustrial interviewed Mark when they did a live show from.
They interviewed 2 J mods in the thing. They went to Excel or something. But yeah, and he called it a social skilling. MCM. That's it. So yeah. MCM Expo. So and I remember him calling it a social thing. So Jagex look at it in that way as well. So I'm just going to say here, I apologise for declining your talk show topics. We don't have time to go through them all. You guys
Ben, what did you think of social skilling? What do you think of it? Is it?
Yeah, I quite enjoy it. I mean, just being able to sort of talk to people while you're skilling without it just sort of, don't want XP waste, but you still want to talk to people.
Do you think Jagex can sort of support it anyway more? Do you think they can sort of help people out with more social skilling side of aspects?
Well, I'm a bit conflicted, see, because I prefer sort of the '07 or the older sort of style where you didn't just get XP handed to you so easily, like RuneSpan. I know the old rune crafting was a bit slow, but I sort of feel like you still need to earn your XP to some respect. But I think with this, I think with the upcoming update with the warbands, I don't know if we're going to go into that at all. But
We
sort
can
of the
do briefly
wilderness.
if you like.
It's sort of like a wilderness thing where you sort of team up with other people and you go into the wilderness and just it sort of tries to get more people in there to promote PvPing, but also teamwork and just being able to you get XP rewards from I think it's some sort of summoning. You sort of it's based around the Guthix lore and stuff, but I just feel as though you just being able to talk to people whilst you skill and get XP, as Zeri said, it's sort of, or Irie, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
also social, like if you're part of a clan, I'm part of RuneZone clan, and also friends chat. You can join RuneZone's friends chat. It's just RuneZone, like the actual name, and you can just talk in there. I mean, you don't have to be with people either, because Jagex has made it easy. Like you've got the private messaging system and everything.
Although I think Jagex has quite encouraged social skilling. I mean, if you look at clan chats nowadays, clan avatars, I mean, the idea of a clan avatar is a group of people skilling together for the skilling XP bonus. And I think also clans are a great addition to that. And if you want to check on the RuneZone clan, that's Rune Space Zone. I think if you go in there and you want to join, then I'm sure lots of people will be happy to invite you. But yeah, I think social skilling in itself, I think it's quite supported by Jagex.
It does make grinding through skills a lot easier, more tolerable, and just a whole lot more fun in general.
Definitely.
I think the balance is there, though. I think Jagex have done enough to sort of encourage it, but not sort of too much and pushed it the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, should we go? We'll just do a few more talk show topics. There was one that caught my eye, I must say, about construction needing an update. I actually asked that question in the interview on Tuesday about construction, and they said they are planning to do something. So what do you guys think it's going to be? I'm really excited. I love my construction.
Well, from what Modmark said, he seemed to indicate that construction was coming out of player-owned houses and to become something more on the surface world, which I think is
I
great.
think that would be a really good aspect to add to the game. So construction is more of a like widespread still, like you don't just do it in one confined area.
Give it a more social aspect, going back to the social skilling.
Yeah.
I have seen some talk from, I'm not sure if it was a hint or something from a mod sometime in the past. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the update, but they were talking about wanting to implement the idea of sort of player-owned streets or communities where you have like a house and you have like friends' houses next to each other without actually having to go out of your portal and then into like your friend's house portal, which might be like at Relica and you're in like, Tavali or something, and you can sort of just have your own clan or group of friends or just people around you have houses around yours, so you can sort of just duck in and out of each other's houses. And I think that would be a really good update if they could implement that, or if that was to be implemented. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of things in the game that aren't actually used that have been in the game for a while. Just in 07 Scape, I was doing Elemental Workshop, and when you kill it's like a little earth element, he drops a rock, but that's not used in the game at all. In the wilderness, there's like items called tiles. You don't use tiles at all, and I think a lot of those items, they could find a use for those and put them in the game one way or another.
I think
Yeah.
anything in the wilderness at the moment, with the World Wakes coming up next week, it's probably that there possibly could be a use for a lot more things in the wilderness after the World Wakes. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on now. We've had two people send in, Tyler Scott and Enoch, ask about the Origin video, and Tyler Scott also asks about the World Wakes, and what will come from the quest. So, what about I really enjoyed the Origin video. I love sort of like lore and stuff. I just don't really bother to find it on RuneScape. So
Is that
having
like
it
the
all in one
trailer?
place was nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was explaining sort of the lore behind RuneScape in the build-up to the World Wake to try and give everyone a bit more of an overview of the history.
I think it was amazing, like that release that they did, the trailer or whatever. I think it was really good.
I think I sat there and
absolutely
watched it
loved
twice.
it.
I think I
loved
watched
it.
it twice.
There's, I think the top comment at the time when I watched it is this should be the real RuneScape trailer, sort of
Yeah.
just because it was so good.
I saw that, and I completely agreed with that top comment. When I watched it, it was like I was amazed that RuneScape were capable of making such an amazing trailer.
I think what I love about RuneScape and quests especially is just the storylines that come out of it. I mean, Mod Osborne, he comes up with a lot of the stuff, and he is a fantastic storyteller. And I think what the video itself kind of points towards that will come out of the quest is just, it's unbelievable. And to be honest, I'm really excited to see where they go with that, and I can't wait to see what happens. With
Yeah.
I'm sort of like
It's gonna be-
looking forward to the quest, even though I don't have like any of the requirements for it, just from that trailer. Like,
There is only one requirement. I mean, if you watch the behind the
I
scenes
thought there were
video,
a bunch of quest requirements.
there's
weren't
only
there?
actually one requirement to do the quest. There's other requirements to get the full rewards straight away.
Oh, okay,
but
140 combat.
They wanted to make this quest available to as many people as possible, and the only requirement there is 130, I think, combat, or it's a combat level.
40.
140 combat. There we go.
But
I
sorry,
can't play
to get
it.
the full rewards, you need to have done quite a few quests and stuff. And
Yeah, I had a friend who was doing like to do just about every quest in the game just to get the full reward because he was going on about it. But so I just assumed that I just didn't. I'm not much of a quester.
yeah, I'm gonna say now we've got quite a few requests of skills coming in. We're sort of touching on them as we go, and we've talked about the new skill in several other Rune Talks. So if you want to go back on YouTube and listen to them, sorry, we're just getting quite a lot of talk show topics, and I'm like, should we now move on to GE cleaners?
Yeah.
Personal topic.
Okay, Ben, what's your topic that you gave us for in talk?
I believe it was sort of like the old RS memories, just sort of when I first began RuneScape and what sort of led me to play the game and my experiences with it. Just
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I sort of just I think I started off not knowing anything, and same as everyone else. But from there I sort of,
Stairs.
yeah.
Didn't understand how to.
I really enjoyed the tutorial islands back in the game. That's sort of my favorite. My favorite sort of tutorial. But I think I just started off mining because I didn't know what else to do, and the copper ore and stuff was quite close by. And then everyone else was doing wood cutting, I think, at the time, just because it was a lot easier and more AFK. But I made some friends there, just sort of just mining. I'd sort of get ores from other people and make them into bars and then give them the bars and just to get XP and stuff. I still remember some of the resources had like little level 6, like a level 6 mugger around them, and I'd sort of just die all the time. But yeah, it was good.
I have quite a nice memory of the coal trucks, near Sears Village.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of started playing and stopped playing and came back into the game. And when I came back into the game, I was a bit, I don't know what I'm doing anymore and things like that. And I just sort of went to Sears Village and I thought, yeah, I'll just do some mining, and started mining. And then you just sort of, you see other people and you sort of get into a conversation. And then from that, I ended up joining a clan and all that sort of thing. those sort of memories, I think, are what part of what makes RuneScape a great community.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Just when you're
remember-
starting it. Sorry.
No, I don't want you go on.
Like, just when you're starting up too, there's no, you're sort of not in a clan. You're not. You just might have one or two friends who told you about the game, but it sort of promotes you to talk more in the public chat, which I think is a good thing, in a way. I think to some extent clan chats sort of take away from that. You might only talk in the clan chat, and you don't sort of talk to just random people around you, which I think that has its place in the game, but yeah.
I can agree with you there, though. I have to say I do still personally talk in public chat. I try and still be active in public chat, even if I'm in about 3 or 4 other chats, you know.
Yeah, same.
You also need to find the friends chat first, because way back in the day, it was my friends chat everybody used, and like I was a bit of a party animal. And
Oh, God.
and it's like I was like centre of attention and everything. And so yeah, we use my clan chat and everything, and I think 2011 November, I was sort of really bad state of mind and everything, and I sort of like casually stopped playing the game, and I only have one friend left from that now. Nick. I only have Nick left really from way back then. But you have to find the friends chat. Like, I don't really use friends chats that much. I had my own clan, which wasn't very active because I'd stopped playing, and Zone Zone came along, and suddenly I've got too much to do. But I love it because you have to find it as well, and to find it you need to talk. So yeah, you do need to talk to find that clan, that
Definitely.
the group.
Yeah.
Okay, have we got any more topics being sent in, Kathy?
I don't. I think we've gone through most of the stuff. But now it's time for us to have a small break.
Hang on. We got time for
Okay, have we?
one more topic.
One
I just want to
more.
squeeze one more topic
One more
in.
topic.
Um,
One's been very
don't know
repetitive.
if
Then.
I don't know if anyone else possibly saw a status update by Nathan the other day about content ambassadors.
Well, I did.
And I know this is something that possibly or will be coming to RuneZone soon. So I think if you are interested, we do pay attention when you submit content, and we do recognise this, and we like to try and recognise this more. And that's really about what the content ambassador is about, I think. But I know Nathan will be probably giving you more information about that on a later date. But in the meantime, if you do see something on the site that you think, hey, I know otherwise this is a bit maybe not up to date, but most of it is, so feel free to use it. If you do see something, you can submit submissions. We will always deal with your submissions, usually pretty fast, and we'll even send you a message back saying thanks. Sometimes we'll give you a medal for it, and that's just an achievement. And thank you for really submitting.
Content works really hard. I know that because us DJs, we're out in the open. You can see the hours we do, but I know content. They work really hard. They do a lot. But they don't.
Really do.
They're not out in the open, really, are they? They are. It's. I think we were describing once that the staff team is a cake, and the
delicious cake.
The content of the sponge, obviously a delicious cake. It's RuneZone, and the content of the sponge. That without the sponge, it wouldn't be there, but it wasn't as noticeable. And I know that content don't get as much, but I know they work really hard, and these content ambassadors, I'm quite looking forward to it. So
yeah, I just want to say thanks again to everyone who does constantly submit content, and thank you for doing that. I know it's usually when you're using the guides, and when you do submit stuff like that, it lets us know at least that the guides are being used, which is great. But yeah, have you got any other topics, Kathy, or are we going to take a short?
I think we're going to take a short break. When we come back, there will be a chance for you guys to win some GP. We're going to do hide and seek again. Maybe it'll go a little bit better this time. One may hope. So yeah, do log into Game World 83. So if you want to be in chance for a little bit of GP. Thank you for listening to us. And yeah, we will be back very shortly.
Rune Talk, have your say.
Okay, guys, we are back, and hide and seek is about to start. There's 4 of us, so myself, Quackies, Eerie, and GE Cleaner are all hiding on World 83, and we're going to give you some hints, and you've got to come and find us. It's the first person to trade us. Join the Friends Chat Rune Zone to take part in this. We will be echoing the clues out in the Friends Chat, and we'll also be, you need to trade us, and if you're not in the Friends Chat, you can always join the Clan Chat, which is Rune Space Zone. So, yeah, either the Friends Chat or the Clan Chat. Anyone want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
I wonder if this cabbage is related to Recipe for Disaster. So, I wonder if this cabbage is related to Recipe for Disaster. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Go on then.
I'm near a fairy ring. That's my first clue.
Iri, do you want to go next?
These knights are dressed in weird black clothing.
Yep, so that's
Your turn, John.
my turn now. I wonder what all these firemakers are doing here.
Also, can I just say, you have to trade us. So first to trade, I've been traded.
Lol.
Burke has traded me.
Someone's just found me.
Bank pin. No,
Good
yeah,
job,
bank
Cookie.
pin.
How much are we giving them?
100k.
That's not
So yeah, so Burke has got 100k. I was in Lumbridge Basement. Was a pretty easy clue, to be honest. As I said it, I thought it was something better. But we have Iri and John left. So do you want to repeat the clues for us?
Do you want to go first, Eerie?
Okay. These knights are dressed in weird black clothing.
And mine is I wonder what all these firemakers are doing here. So yeah, I think someone might have found me.
Ooh.
Oh,
People like store
someone's
things.
here. They haven't traded me, but someone is here. Oh, I've been traded. It's Balor. So I've been found by Balor. Yeah. So, Eerie, you're still there, are you?
Yeah.
Ooh, do we need another clue?
Right, let's think of another clue for Iri.
Apparently, Balor was actually doing this quest. I was near the start of Firemaker's Cursed.
Yeah, that's a good point. All of these, they're near quest starts.
Yep, they're actually, most of them are near quest starts that are related to the extended rewards for Ritual of the Majorat.
I think the two people that found me were just sort of at the GE and just sort of walked 2 steps and, hey, how you doing? Give me 100k. I was at the fairy ring just outside the GE.
Yeah. Well, you need to stay near the GE to clean it, don't you?
Yes, definitely. Can't go without its cleaner.
So bad.
It can't go without its cleaner too long.
No.
All these.
So, Eerie, has anyone found you yet?
Nope.
Nope.
You're on an island near a boat, aren't you?
Yes.
A couple of mini quests there too, aren't there?
Yeah.
Valerie says she's coming to get you, Eerie. So.
Let's see if Valerie knows where I am.
I don't know. It's a pretty confident statement. She's like, no.
Island near a boat.
I wasn't where Valerie thought I was.
Oh, Valerie can't.
was.
Valerie hasn't found you.
No.
The game's still on, guys.
So people think someone thought you were at Kintra HQ. No, you're not there, are you?
No, I'm not.
Do you know what the Kintra HQ is?
No.
It's the Black Knight castle thingy near Edgeville.
I can see why they thought that, but
Yeah,
no.
but no, you're not there. You're not at the Kintra HQ.
Let's think. So we know there are a few mini games. There's a boat on an island, which is how you get to islands. There are knights dressed in black clothing. What else do you think is there?
Well, also it's related to a quest that is a requirement for the 4 rewards for the World Wakes. And if you don't know,
Somebody's found me.
ooh,
Oh, have they? Who?
Yes.
Have they
Eggbrat.
changed you? Eggbrat,
Yes.
obviously. So that my finder was Burke. John's finder was
Balor.
G founders.
He doesn't want to see it.
Mine was Cookie, and then someone else ran up to me after that, but just a little too slow by like 5 seconds.
And Eggbrat found Eri. So this has been RuneTalk, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I've been joined by my lovely co-host, Power 5.
Hello.
We have had Iri, one of our newest DJs. Iri,
Yes.
sorry.
And we've also got Ben, aka G Cleaner, with us. So thank you for joining us.
No worries, it's been my pleasure.
Also, I'm just sticking a link again into the teaser images for the World Wakes. Great images, definitely have a look at that. And I know when the World Wakes comes out, we will be having a guide up for that very quickly. I know our content team leader, Bexy, is already eyeing up that guide.
Don't forget, you can click on Josh UK's link in the chat box. You yourself can come on RuneTalk with us, provided you have the requirements. So hopefully you guys could be on air with us next week. Up next, we will have DJ Josh UK. Thank you again for tuning in. I've been DJ Quackies, along with these lovely people and my co-host, Power 5. I will be on air next week, aka tomorrow. I will be on air on Monday, so I hope you have enjoyed RuneTalk. Tune in again next Sunday.
The latest updates, quizzes, and loads of RSGP. This is the hottest chat show on RuneScape. RuneTalk, have your say.